Healing after narcissistic abuse is like an upward spiral. This is video number 6 of the Rebuild Your Life After Narcissistic Abuse course. It takes time. The healing is not instant. And often it takes longer than you expect because this kind of abuse affects all areas of your life. The emotional, psychological, social, financial, mental energy levels. All areas are affected, and the breaking free process is often not clean. So you come out of that relationship with a lot of areas that needs to be rebuilt. Before I explain how healing is like an upward spiral, I have to first shatter a common myth that keeps us stuck. We think that healing, changing habits, or turning our life around is a decision. If we're just firm enough in our decision, we will be able to make those changes starting Monday. This myth is repeated in television series such as Biggest Loser or similar programs. And this myth has slipped its way into our conscience. It's how we think about change. I just have to prepare myself and make the proper decisions, and then I have to stick to them. But that's not how change or improvement really works. We move through our days, and we have a lot of habits into place. The habits don't take that much energy. It's on the automatic program. But whenever we want to make a change, one change, that takes effort. The bigger the change, the bigger the effort that is needed to sustain that change. So when we think that I will just step into a new life with new habits, we now ramp up in several different areas. We are supposed to just put into place new habits, and all of those take energy. And that it does not work. It has never worked. That will lead to a collapse, so we're not able to follow through on all those areas. Especially when you don't have support around you. And after narcissistic abuse, it is common that we lack support system. We have not been able to build up real support during the relationship. And our abusive partner has isolated us from people who could be there to support us. So often we are doing the main part of this rebuilding on our own. If you are in a television show and the stakes are really, really high, and you're able to focus on just one or two areas, food and physical exercise, that could work for like a certain period, and you put everything else to this that falls behind because you're not completely focused on these changes. But here you are with exhaustion, burnout, a lot of areas to maintain, and now you think about making changes. This model that rarely works in a normal situation does not at all work in the situation that you are in trying to rebuild. It only leads to self-blame, and it leads to this up and down. I'm able to sustain it for a little and then it crashes. There is a book called The Path of Least Resistance, and I will link it in the video description, where the author describes this pattern that is very common whenever we want to make a change. We take a look at our current situation. For example, if it has to do with weight, I feel overweight. My clothes don't fit. And that leads to a certain amount of pain. And when that pain reaches a certain threshold, it's enough for us to make the decision to make a change, because the pain of changing is bigger than the pain of the change. Because going to the gym or denying ourselves to eat certain things, that will be a struggle, it will be painful. But the pain of our current situation is bigger, so that allows us to take that, start to make that change. And we maintain those changes, high effort changes. But when we start to see results, the clothes now fit nicer, and I look in the mirror and think that, oh, I look pretty good, then that pain goes down. But the pain of maintaining the habits are still high, or the effort needed. And this means that our behavior will automatically shift in the other direction. So I don't really feel that pain, that need to keep the changes, because I feel okay. And that's when the habits, like, we start to stop doing the habits that we had tried to put into place. So how do we start to rebuild and heal after narcissistic abuse? Because obviously we can't go this common route that does not work for many people anyways. Well, instead of making big changes, and especially big changes in several areas, we start to make small changes that don't take that much effort. And we have several areas that has been affected by the relationship, by the abuse. Our eating habits, our exercise habits, our sleeping habits, our self-talk, our social relationships, our finances, and so on. And we make a small change. For example, I decided I will take just a 10-minute walk every day. That's not really, it doesn't take that much energy, so I can put this habit into place even though I don't have that much energy to play with. And I can start to take that 10-minute walk. And now I won't make any changes until that is a habit, until that becomes as natural as brushing my teeth. That means that when I wanted to put this habit into place, I have to decide, I have to put it in my schedule. It has to be done on a certain time. Like, I will take that 10-minute walk. I will take it in the morning, right after breakfast. Before I go to work, I will take a little round and then I will go to the car. Or I will take it after I come home after dinner, I will take a little walk. So as convenient as possible, you put that habit into place. And that little habit, it will have a positive effect on you. That walk will start to, even though it's just 10 minutes, start to strengthen your muscles. And it will have some ripple effects. It might lead to you having a little more self-confidence. I was able to put this habit into place. Sleeping a little better. And the mood may even be a little better because now you're out and getting some sunlight. And then when that habit is automatic, you take a look at the areas where you're wanting to rebuild and you choose another little area. Perhaps it's the social area. Okay, so I'm feeling isolated. I don't have those social connections that I would like to. How do I start to rebuild that area? Well, perhaps I can start with just saying hello to the neighbors while I take that walk. even though you might not have done that every time, now you start to say hello, and that might lead to a little chat when you're at the supermarket, when you run into them. So you start to do these little changes in the areas that you're trying to rebuild. And this will have ripple effects, and it will lead to you having a new normal level where you have habits in place. And then slowly you start to build from there. So that's why healing looks like an upward spiral. It is not an instant change, and it is not this extreme effort that will not be sustainable. It is these small efforts, and wait for it to become a habit, and then you make another small change. And this is exactly what we will go through in this course. So we will start to look at different areas and how to start to rebuild those areas. And that is also why I recommend that this course should preferably be watched through or done several times. So the first time you watch through the course, you pick up some cues and you get some ideas for things to implement in your life. And then you need to implement them. And gradually things will improve. And then you take another round through all the areas and remind yourself of what you're working toward. So rebuilding is a process. We're doing it together. And it is done in this spiral fashion. The first areas we will start to look at that lies at the basis. The first areas that we will start to look at is eating, physical exercise, and sleeping. Because that forms the basis on how you're feeling every day. And we will start with very small steps in each area. So fear not. You have not come to Biggest Loser. You have come to Emma's Light Over the Bridge. And we will take this slowly and gently and together. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and see you in the next video.